There is no hiding from it now. Everyone knows what it is to live in the world while they see it and feel it falling to pieces. And to wonder what to do. But to understand what happened with KellyAnn, you need to remember it was a very different world back then. Most of us had been lulled into a kind of attention paralysis. It was before the lower forests burned, the oceans went terminal. It was before the global shocks of the 20s and 30s really began to strike. KellyAnn and thousands like her thoroughly understood what was coming. A few were in a position to be heard, but weren't really listened to.
Are we and all living things we cherish our history.
Sienna, you were born in, 2020? Back then the world was distracted still by bread and circuses. Stories about a world done in by aliens or viruses or meteors, when we're actually being done in, of course, by a handful of crooks and liars.
No more allowing the fossil fuel companies to manipulate and dictate the science and policies that affect our future.
For greed, people had been lied to, but many were awakened to that and fighting.
Because children, the young people know that their lives are at stake, their futures are at stake. All the money in the world doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
KellyAnn was one of those, exasperated but trying in every way she could think of.
It's the poisoning and the fracking and the roasting of our tiny little planet. I mean, it's the end of the world and nobody seems to understand that.
She was a fighter, and it was a time for desperate measures. In those days, I had a farm in the Norman Valley. Fresh water still ran there then, and birds still sang in the mornings. In 17, KellyAnn came along to borrow my barn. As it turned out, she did know what needed to be done, and she was ready.